you know what? I don't normally do this, but Vic's been waiting patiently, and I like the top she's wearing. So I'm going to add her to the show. Hi, Vic.
Hello, Carl.
Hello. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well done. Very impressive. How are you feeling? I know you had COVID.
I still feel like death.
Again?
Yes.
Didn't you get it?
Does she look like a healthy person?
Did
like
you
her
get-
lifestyle is
Did you get more COVID toes?
Top healthy.
Or did you still have the COVID toes from last time? I forget.
that's a good question.
No, I don't have COVID toes. This is the new brand of COVID. I just wanted to really branch out and see what I could get.
This is military grade COVID?
Yeah.
Awesome. How the elbows? Elbows okay?
Elbow's fine.
All right.
Yeah, it's
You know what's
fantastic.
interesting is we first met Vic, we thought she was a 12-year-old boy. Now she sounds like she's going through puberty with this cold that she has.
It's some weird Benjamin Button shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, Vic, I'm going to pop back over to Stuttering John on MSCS Media, which we got to get back into. Drive through. All right, where did we leave off? So we saw the part where John realized he had a lot of empties in front of him.
In our last episode.
Yeah, and then, so this is great. Vic, you probably weren't a Howard Stern listener, I would imagine, right?
No, I wasn't. I can't believe you haven't mentioned, what is his name? Tommy?
Tommy.
Tommy's fucked up face?
Yeah, his cheekbones.
You haven't mentioned how he's like
Vinny
a fucking...
covered it
he's like
many
a
episodes
Kendall
ago.
Guido.
Vinny called him Anus Face.
It's interesting, Vic, because I mentioned that English isn't his first language. He might be an extraterrestrial, now that I think about it, because, he doesn't speak English real good.
He's made of clay, I
He
believe.
claims to be from the States. He's trying to mimic a podcaster.
Yeah. 30,000 push-ups? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
all coming
He's
together.
infiltrated us.
The way that website was put together?
They live among us.
Yeah.
There is that one point where he's like, I'm doing a human podcast for other humans.
How many Earthlings listen to your podcast?
This is a Spotify exclusive. Catch it on YouTube. All right. So we've mentioned that Tommy talks about what a big Howard Stern fan he is and then knows nothing about Howard Stern. I don't know if this is the most egregious thing that he said out of all of these. It might be.
First of all, Howard has Ralph as his stylist, which is a fucking ridiculous. How'd you get along with Ralph?
Whoa. He had Ralph as a stylist?
You didn't know that?
No.
Wow. And
Have you ever thought that?
He was a main character on the show for like 30 plus years.
That was the job that he had. He's Howard stylist, Ralph.
And going on to this day, but it was a major component of the show. It's
Correct.
not like it was like in the credits.
That's all they talked about was Ralph getting him dressed and what shirt did he pick out for him. And
Oh my God. And Ralph had to meet him at a certain time. And oh my God, it was fucking hours of them talking about that bullshit. He's like, wait, what?
yeah, he's blown away by this.
Wait,
All right.
Robin was a newscaster? Are you sure?
So then they're talking about the E! Show and how the E! Show was national in all the different markets across the U.S., but also overseas.
Yeah.
Crouch, because they're, again, complaining about not making enough money, they didn't make enough money, and all that stuff. And John has to throw this in.
It's like crazy. We're in LA and we're across the country and we're everywhere.
And in England.
England.
For a guy who hangs out at British pubs all day, he should be able to pronounce England. And they're like, England, right, John? We get it, England. And I think the reason why he said that was because of the Sacha Baron Cohen thing, where he always says that he ripped him off his act. So he has to say, like, we were in England.
Yeah.
Everyone in England knows who Stuttering John is. FYI, throwing that out there. We've had people from England call into the show, or England, whatever, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Call into the show and say that they've never seen the Howard Stern show. It's not a thing over there.
why would they?
No one's talking about that while eating fish and chips.
Yeah.
That's all I know about their culture.
Not fixing their teeth.
Yeah, or whatever else they're doing over there. All right. So Scott starts talking about gas prices, how outrageous gas prices are. And so Tommy decides this is a good time to pivot to politics. And John, his main job now is a political pundit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what he does. He talks politics for 6 hours a week,
Yeah.
at least.
He said that's his life's work.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
I got regular. It's $4.69.
For regular.
Regular.
and this guy always does his politics shit about. Are you still doing all your Democrat politics shit, or you have to realize
I'm not going here, bro.
I'm not going there. I just want to know.
I'm not going here.
I have one question.
No.
Not even one.
No.
One.
No. Let's
Why?
stick
Why?
with.
Oh,
We finally found something to shut him up.
I don't see.
I just want to ask you one question. Just one.
Just one question.
Just one.
One question.
I just want to.
One question.
And remember,
And one
I'm
question
not
only.
just because I had Stone in and I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm for whoever's the best.
Okay, good.
Do you think that Biden is doing a good job?
I think he's doing a great job.
You're kidding me, right?
That was two questions.
Oh, he is a
I think
grammar
he said
Nazi.
one.
You really mean that? Look me in the eye and tell me you think Biden's doing a
I
great
think he's doing a wonderful job.
This proves John is a hack. John is not a serious political pundit at all because he cannot talk to someone who has a different opinion than him. He can only talk to people who agree with him in every way. All he said was, "Hey, I got a question for you about politics." Nope.
Let's stick to the glory days, please.
Let's just talk about how awesome I was on Howard Stern show. I don't want to talk about, do you think Biden's doing a good job? Yeah, he's doing a wonderful job. What?
And here's the guy that paid him a couple $100 to fly in and talk to him.
Yes.
He's like, oh, you want to answer a question? And I know this is so silly, but my favorite part is when he does the Columbo impression, and then he looks over to the guy who wasn't even born yet when Columbo was on TV, and he gives him the old, like, yeah, wasn't that cool? You know what I'm talking about? Because the old eyebrow raise.
That wasn't even the quote.
Yeah. It's not even,
It's
the
just
whole
one more
fucking
thing.
is ridiculous.
You're right.
Yeah.
He's not even getting it right.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he sucks. All right. This is a fun little awkward moment because John, at this point, I'm going to say allegedly is fucked up.
Yeah.
He's a little wasted. And Tommy picks up on this.
Yep.
Why are you looking at me all weird?
No, I'm just thinking how long.
He's had like 20 beers.
No, I was just trying to figure out how long we've been here.
Who cares?
Rob?
We're over an hour. Still going.
That's about 2 hours in, by the way, which is funny. Like, you just started. You're fine. Keep going. And actually, to Vic's point, why are you looking at me weird? Why wouldn't everyone look at you weird, Tommy? Because you're from another galaxy. That's why.
You're a Jim Henson creation. Jesus Christ.
I've never seen CGI in person. That's why I'm looking at you weird. CGI in real time is a bit off-putting, I have to be honest with you.
I can't operate a green screen. Jesus.
Tupac looks more human as a hologram.
Yeah, right.
All right. So then they talk about how Scott has taken up golf because Scott is a very famous bowler.
And they
Bowling
spend
enthusiast.
15 fucking minutes talking about bowling.
Yes. Yeah, they talk about bowling, which I didn't pull any of those clips.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry.
Thank you.
And then they get into golf because now that's what he's into. And of course, John hears the word golf and he turns to Scott and says, "How happy were you when I beat Tom Giussano at golf?" Like, John, that's your life. You're happy about it. Why is Scott happy about it? I know that you guys both didn't like Tom because he wouldn't pay you what you thought you were worth, but the fucking dumb thing to say. So then John asks Scott if Howard ever paid him a compliment.
Yeah, wasn't that fucking amazing?
This is interesting because Scott's answer is pretty revealing. Scott seems to be having a better time with his history and his past than John is.
It seemed to me like Scott had never once thought of that question before.
Correct. Yeah, he was just like, huh.
Oh, yeah.
And the best one was in the book. So
Yeah, okay. What's in the book is not really a compliment. You would have to come up to you.
So he goes, in his book, Howard wrote, Scott is the best engineer I've ever worked with.
Yeah. Now, how's that for a compliment?
Pretty good.
And then
in the book,
John says,
doesn't count.
and I quote, "What's in the book doesn't count."
Doesn't count. You have to say it to your face. And then I think Scott goes, I'm sure he complimented me other times. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, it
and
was no
perseverate on it.
popcorn tin, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I didn't perseverate on it for every moment of my life for the rest of my fucking days.
So then Tommy plays one of my favorite pinball machines, Devil's Advocate.
Yes.
It's like I would write jokes for him, and they would kill. And I would walk in the studio thinking he's going to go, "That was a great joke, thanks." Never. And he never said it to Jack either.
I think he, I think he's given me off the air good comments.
But on the flip side, though, if he complimented you and said, "Oh, great job," then maybe you won't work as hard. I mean, I'm looking at it like devil's advocate, like a businessman.
Well,
if I'm like, "Oh, great job," now you get content.
What a fucking retard.
Can I point this out that there's nothing Howard could have done or said to John to make him happy?
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. If he had given him $1 million a year and told him every day how great he was, John would have been like, he didn't even recognize how amazing I was for that show. It wasn't enough.
And if he really wrote those jokes that killed, isn't that the highest compliment that he told him?
Yes, and that people laughed and responded to it. And also, if he wrote funny jokes back then, why isn't he doing it now?
What happened?
Why did he stop writing good jokes?
No kidding.
I had that accident.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing of I needed that. I would walk in the studio expecting Howard to turn to me and say, "Great job."
Well, also, I wonder on the flip
not how it
side,
works.
did John walk in there and go, "Howard, there was a great segment you just did"? Like, wow, way to turn my push-up idea into radio gold. Did he ever say that? Or he just say, "I don't know why I'm not getting complimented for coming up with a push-up challenge"?
Oh, and Tommy's whole thing of like,
you get what you give.
Yeah,
in
well,
life. Right,
Tommy's
Vic?
Exactly. Thank you.
Making
Vic.
sure she's paying
Of
attention.
course.
Yeah. What he should have said is, "Why do you give a shit?"
Yes.
But what he does say is, "Don't tell your employees they're doing a good job because then they won't work as hard," which is fucking stupid.
That's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What I do is I pay people way less than what they deserve, and I tell them they suck every day. That's how I get the most out of my people.
That's, when you keep your employees in the dark as to whether you give a shit or not, that's when you get the best. That's when they want to come to work.
I also punch them in the gonads when I'm okay,
Yeah.
just to let them know who the boss is.
Yeah. Fuck you, buddy.
Gonads.
That's why I wear a cup to the podcast.
Smart. You learned quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
Unlike Vinny, he never learns, never figures it out. So this is one that you pointed out, Croge, is they're old men doing the Google thing, looking through Google images. We get to watch them Google things in real time.
Oh, click over there. No, scroll. No.
No, not that one. No, click the other one, but above that, but next to that. No, the other above. So this is funny because when you do Google Stuttering John and you do an image search, there's a lot of unflattering things that show up.
The string they used was Stuttering John memes. Was what they were searching.
Memes.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
Which,
real bad idea.
Yeah.
Real quick, Rob.
Where is it? Sorry.
I could prove you wrong right now in the last interview, but I won't do that to you.
So right there, Chrissy Mayer owns Stuttering John. It's one of the images that we're looking at.
Where is it?
Keep going.
Down.
There it is again.
Right there.
So they're scrolling through and there's just like Chrissy Mayer all over. And you know that John's blood is boiling over this. He is not happy. This is what's up on the screen during this show right now.
Yeah. Oh, love it.
And they even point out, so you know Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé is like one of those memes, and people put his head on Stuttering John. And they say Stuttering John's like one of the funny things the dabblers do. And Rob, the engineer guy, even goes, "Yeah, I saw they were using Big Ed." And they pull up that photo, and John's like, "Yeah, okay, I don't know." And they go, "Yeah, it kind of looks like you if you were fatter." He's like, "I don't know." Sucks so
Good
bad.
old roll off your back, John.
Yeah, he really loves it when we get into it here. So, John does a joke that he put out on Twitter that he told to Shuley during the time that he interviewed Shuley. He does it again and laughs his ass off as if this is still funny and relevant.
What was the guy's name that did
John Hine.
John Hine? Yeah, they did the after show thing and all that.
Who created Jump the Shark, which is kind of ironic since Howard Show's Jump the Shark.
You think? I don't know. I don't listen.
I love how he barely chokes it out, too.
But the laughter that he gives to let everyone else know that that's a really funny thing that he just said, and no one's picking up on that. Like, well, yeah, I don't know. I still like this. Scott, by the way, who you would think is a bitter guy based on what John says about Scott and his departure from the Howard Stern show, is not bitter at all.
No.
He's like, I think the show's still great. Yeah. I think his interviews are fantastic. I like the Howard Stern show. I worked there for, 35 years or whatever.
That was the craziest thing is he comes off as a chill, likable guy. On the air, they always painted him as like being angry and fucking out of sorts all the time. But he's just like, yeah, no, it's cool, man. I can't bowl anymore, so I just go golfing. Yeah, it's cool, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not great at it, but I don't keep score. I'm just trying to get better.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's enjoying his life.
Yeah. Unlike Vic over there.
Look at their COVID
He's
tests.
the worst. He was so proud of everything that he does.
Oh, it's insane.
Well, this is interesting because there's a guy, Sal Governelli, who's on the Howard Stern show. And there's a lot of things we could say about Sal, but I'll say this. When they used to do the roasts, he had some of the best sets. He was really good at roast-style comedy.
Yeah.
And he would really bash Gary Delabate. Like, he kind of took that up after Stuttering John left. And was really the guy that would go after Baba Booey, but in creative, funny ways.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting thing that John says I've never heard before.
Yeah, this is new.
I love Sal because
Yeah, I love both of those.
I used to feed Sal every time Sal would call, and give me something for Bowie, give me something, and then I would just write jokes for Sal and go, all right, do that, do that, do that.
So Sal, he was a phone caller, would call in and say to Stuttering John, give me some jokes to tell, please, Stuttering John. And then Stuttering John would say, okay, here are 3 amazing jokes that I've written just for you. And you go on the air. And then he put Sal through, and then Sal would tell these amazing jokes.
Because John likes to spread the wealth, as we know.
Oh, yeah.
He wants everyone to be a star.
There's nothing he loves more than someone else
Getting the spotlight.
using his material.
Right.
Have a piece of my pie.
Yeah, but to better the product. He's not looking to better himself. He wants, he's like a rhythm player. He wants...
Right. He's like, here's a bunch of jokes, and can I lend you money? You don't have to pay me back.
Yeah. And, I mean, if one were just to take this as a claim, like, okay, this is the claim. The evidence against it is fucking stunning. By the fact that Sal the stockbroker has been on the Howard Stern show for almost 20 years and has consistently been a writer, is consistently on the air, and he still does jokes.
Yes.
Stuttering John, as we've documented, does none of that. He hasn't said a funny thing in fucking decades, if ever.
He shifted to politics, and he can't even talk politics.
It's insane. And for him to be like, yeah, I wrote all that funny stuff. Really? Well, then why is he still doing all funny stuff and you aren't doing shit?
Yeah, John, the problem with your lies is there's too much evidence out there now that prove you to be lying.
Yeah, if you're going to make a claim like that, you got to have something to back it up. And when the fucking, just a bird's eye view is like, well, yeah, this is obvious fucking bullshit, then what the fuck are we doing here?
Like, if I talked about all the gold medals I won in track,
what the fuck?
and Vinny comes over, he's like, Carl, you're club fucking footed. I'm like, I know, but you gotta take my word on
the
this.
rules to track were different back in those days.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. So then, this is funny because Tommy is so out of it.
Yeah.
They're talking about how Richard Christie's this great drummer, and they used to play in Death. And now he's in this band called Charred Walls of the Damned. And they're even saying, like, he's a death metal drummer. And they go, Charred Walls of the Damned. And Tommy goes, is that an alternative band? Like, no, it's death metal. What do you mean, is that alternative? Oh, I didn't know. It's like, what's your role here? What do you know? What's going on?
And what do you think alternative is?
What do you think alternative
That
is?
hasn't been an actual classification for a long time. Okay, yeah.
He is not of this earth, man.
There's a lot of evidence. There's more coming too. Now that we have this theory going, I'm starting to buy into it. All right, so then John says that him and Scott the engineer are really good buddies who have never had a fight, which is a lie.
I don't think we've ever had an argument, right?
We probably did, but
I don't even remember.
goes away.
No, but even when I would go in the studio.
All right. John claims that they never had an argument, even on air. There was never an argument. Now, if you guys don't remember, what happened when John got the Tonight Show gig is that Scott leaked the audition tapes where he was pronouncing it Pamela or Anderson. Like, we've already played that stuff. One quick search on YouTube, and I found this video, and it starts right off with precisely what we're talking about here.
Because you guys asked for it the other day.
This is Stuttering John?
Yeah. And John got so mad at Scott for giving us this tape.
Scott getting one last, he took so much shit from John.
John was like, that's not professional. And Scott goes, how dare you? All the pranks you played on me.
He made Scott's life miserable.
So everyone knows about this, that John was a dick to Scott all the time, and they hated each other. And now John's going to make I don't even we always just got along. We were always best buddies. I don't remember anything going on in our relationship. It's just, again, you can't lie about things that everyone knows about.
So ridiculous.
All right, this is where John starts smoking other people's drugs, which is always fun. John interrupts the conversation.
Yeah.
To see if he can hey, can I start getting high now? I'm not wasted enough on your show as it is.
Only imagine.
What I had to do.
Where is the weed pipe?
It's right next to you.
Is this really strong?
No.
I got one of those at home.
Yeah, it's indica.
Indica.
Yeah.
Indica put you to sleep.
Uh-oh.
Not him.
Not him.
No, I don't like indica.
Well, that's in. He just said it was.
I can't tell the difference.
I thought you said it's...
Sativa? I can't tell the difference. I can't. I got my weed card and everything. And
Until it hits you later.
Wait, you don't even know what the fuck it is?
No, I'm telling you, it's indica, and for me, everybody's different.
Indica mellows you out more than sativa.
Yeah. You're gonna.
But to me, with my body, it feels pretty much the same. I mean,
Do you have sativa?
No, I got indica. No. The pipe, the pipe I have, the liquid is indica, but the stuff you had is.
Do you still have more of that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
Wait. Now, what's great about that is it comes right after, oh, you still have beer at your house? What kind of beer you got? Yeah. And then an hour later, you still got that weed, right? What kind of weed is it? Because I won't smoke no shitty weed. If you're going to give me free weed, it better be the kind of weed that I like. Because I'm not going to smoke no bullshit. And then Scott, he kind of laughs and looks down. You can see he's very amused by this. Yes, John, I have the type of weed that you enjoy that I'm going to give you for free while you're staying at my house for free while you drink all my beer for free.
Yes, John, I'm still regretting all my decisions about you being with me.
When do we get Scott the engineer on this show?
Soon.
I want to hear about that night that happened after this interview.
Yeah.
John's already wasted.
Shit house drunk.
And he's planning ahead to drinking way more and smoking weed back at Scott's house.
He hit that thing 4 times while he was asking about what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And not even, they opened the conversation with what it was, and he didn't even hear it.
Yeah. First he says, I don't like indica.
Yeah.
Hit.
Yeah.
What is it again?
You said it was sativa. No, I just told you it was indica while you were hitting it. Yeah, I know. I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. What is it again?
Oh, it's so stupid. By the way, Vic, I need to borrow your car, but what kind of car do you have? Because I'm not going to borrow no shitty car. You better have a nice car that I can fucking borrow. By the way, I'm using all your gas, and I'm eating all the snacks out of your fucking console.
How much gas is in that tank? 'Cause you might have to give me $20.
Yeah.
I got places to go.
Yeah, seriously.
I might have to put more gas into it.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of barking orders, this is where John starts barking orders at Tommy's employee.
Yeah.
John is just a guest on the show, but you wouldn't know that. Imagine if John had any type of power, what he would do to abuse it. You could just tell what an asshole he is with this clip.
Like Sour Patch Kids now and everything.
It's fucking good,
Hey,
but
Stonehead, pull up.
Yes. I know why.
Everybody's normal but me on iTunes and pull up, I don't know.
Everybody-
That Scott produced that I fucking credit him on my album.
he's pulling it out.
How do you like that shit, Scott? See? I take care of my peeps.
Yeah.
How?
So in John's mind, he goes, Scott helped me produce one of the songs on my second album. I'm doing it the way a normal person would. And I'd love to play some of that for you because he produced it, I wrote it, and played it. So, maybe we can play that. And then he acts like he was doing Scott a favor by letting him produce a song for his album. And then right after that, it's admitted that he paid him nothing for that. It was a favor.
Yeah. Meanwhile, insulting everyone.
Yes.
In the
Meanwhile,
room.
going, hey, sugar tits, let's get this fucking...
Scott looks embarrassed by this whole thing.
And it was a conversation from 10 to 15 minutes prior.
Right.
They'd mentioned it, they brought it up, they moved on to something else, and then it just popped in his mind. They were talking about something totally different. And he just says, hey, asshole, bring up that song. What are you waiting for? And he's obsessed. He brings it up over and over again. As they've tried, and he's talking to Scott. He's trying to move the conversation on. He's giving up with trying to talk to
Tommy's just talking to Scott for the last hour.
Oh,
of
yeah.
this, and John's just interrupting.
Oh, God. Embarrassed.
And also, you have to admit, because there's about 30 minutes of this that I don't think we pulled many clips from, where Tommy starts talking about news stories that are going on. There was an assassination attempt on George W. Bush. And I'm like, why are you asking these people about any of this?
He brings up a news story. Neither of the guests have heard of it.
Yeah.
So then he brings up a paywalled article.
Yeah, they can't even read.
And they start reading the first paragraph until the part where the paywall notice and it's fade out.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then he goes, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. Well, they tried to kill the ex-president, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? And they're like, wow. Yeah, yeah. How about that?
And then they bring
what
up.
do you even say?
Then he brings up Johnny Depp, and both of them go, "Yeah, I'm not following that story. I don't really know anything what's going on with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I'm not following the trial or anything like that." And then a very drunk, stuttering John pulls out an anecdote about Johnny Depp. So just because he heard the word Johnny Depp, he has to say this. Yep. But this is not how a normal person talks.
This is the great thing about Johnny Depp. Well, first of all, I don't know if you know this, Thomas. When I had my album out, the first one that you didn't, help producing. In 1994, I was playing in LA to promote the album, and I played at the Roxy first, and then we went to the Viper Room. Johnny Depp helped unload the equipment. I mean,
we did a show at the Viper Room.
Yeah.
And then John's conclusion from that is Johnny Depp's a great guy. I believe him, and Amber Heard's a liar.
Yeah.
To which Scott says, and neither of them are following any of this.
Yeah.
Scott says, well, you don't know what happened in their relationship. Just because he helped you move shit one time doesn't mean he's like the greatest guy on the face of the earth. You have no idea. Just, no. I have it all figured out. Johnny Depp's the best.
Yeah.
Because he acknowledged me one time.
And then he talks about a time he called into the show, and he's like, oh, I could tell. I mean, he was on the phone to Howard, and I could tell. I was like, okay, all right, great, yeah.
And I don't think John remembers anything that happened in his life, because here's another example of Scott totally disagreeing with what John is telling us.
Yeah.
And this is with James Brown.
You were right next to God.
I played drums for James Brown, and he hated that I couldn't.
No, I played drums.
No, and then they threw you out, and they brought me in. No. Dude, how much you want to bet on this? And then he was yelling at me because I didn't know how. I wasn't a drummer.
And then I went back to playing drums.
Yeah. That could have happened, but
no,
he was just play the fucking.
That could have happened. The thing that Scott just said, that could have happened. I don't know.
And here's the funny thing about that. Scott was a drummer.
Correct.
And they would have Scott play the drums very poorly on the air for comic effect. That was the whole fucking point.
And Tommy says, Scott is a beast of a drummer. He goes, I know, because I tried to take lessons once. And Scott's a great drummer. I was like, Scott's not a great drummer. No, nobody thinks that.
No, and Scott's the first to tell you.
Yeah.
He didn't play drums for 20 years, and then he practiced for a week so he could make it through Wipeout without the drum breaks. Okay.
All right, so then we finally get to John's band, this song that he wanted to play, and he's pretending that he's playing it for Scott's sake.
Yeah.
Because Scott produced it. But really, he just wants to show off how cool his band used to be.
Oh, it's the...
Now go to track 12.
Well, you didn't say track 12. What did
I
you
said, I don't know.
Go to 12.
Yeah, all right.
So bad.
Yeah, but you got to go to the beginning.
Oh, wow. It's only
It's the preview.
Yeah.
You remember fucking doing this?
Yeah.
So embarrassed.
So
It's
bad.
good guitar.
I'm working with John, one of my favorite musicians.
What's more out of tune, the guitar or the vocals?
I know!
They're both fucking atrocious.
So bad. And he just insists that they play the song, and you can tell they're just like, well, we don't have to play it though, right?
Oh my God. Dude, if I heard that, I would give a guy $1 to stop playing. Like, here, just stop, please. Shut your fucking mouth.
So the best part about this whole part is how insecure John gets after that, and he needs reassurance from Tommy.
But
There you go, I got your promotion.
it does sound good, right, Sky?
Sounds great.
I did 2 vocal tracks, just the lead and then the harmony. That's it.
It's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you hate it, don't you?
No, I like the guitar. I think the guitar sounds great.
Yeah. And by the way, the second guitar I did was out of tune, Scott. You can hear it like sometimes.
First guy to ever get cut off on a podcast. Like, holy shit.
Sir, you've been overserved.
That was really good, right? You didn't even like it. Yeah, you don't even like my band. Did you notice I was out of tune?
I love you. I love you.
Pathetic. By the way, Vic, I was funny today, right? Wasn't I good today? Didn't you think I was good? You fucking hate me,
You
don't
were
you?
so
Why do you
good.
hate me so much, Vic? I'm gonna go over and cry now.
Vic, what did I tell you? We have to reassure Crozier. He gets very upset.
Oh, of course.
Tell him he's great.
Okay, gross.
Producer Chris sucks, though. I think we all agree on that, right? All right. Can you guys guess why John golfs? I'll ask Vic. Vic, can you guess why John likes to go golfing?
Well, because the walking, he just loves the walk.
Very, very wrong. Producer Chris, do you have a guess on this one? Why John likes to go golfing?
So he can hobnob with celebrities.
It was too obvious, I think, guys.
I don't even like the only reason I don't. Well, obviously not you. The only reason I play golf is to drink because really I'm never going to be great at it. I don't have a chance.
Well, no, because you're wasted. Of course.
That's weird because you and I don't golf, and
Right.
we're both drinking.
Yeah, there's other ways to drink besides playing golf.
Imagine that.
I only play golf so I can drink. Why do you sit home every night? Oh, so I can drink.
Yeah.
Why do you go to the pub?
So you golf at home.
Why do you have a show called Beer on the Balcony?
Right.
Everything he does is so he can drink. Shameless. Gotta love it. All right, so now he's talking about, we only have a few more clips to get through. I know it's too much. It was too much. We're talking about how he was on Artie's podcast, Artie Lang's podcast, and he's complaining about how Artie was late to his own show.
Yeah.
And Scott says something here. It's a little passive aggressive, but I enjoyed it because it tells you a lot about what he thinks about Stuttering John.
Yeah.
And then then I do his podcast the next time. He is not even, and his podcast is out his house. He's an hour late. And
Sounds like somebody else I know.
Would it start with a J?
no, but he's scoring something.
Oh, okay. So he's late. Yeah.
It's different when he's an hour late to his podcast.
He's late for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
John's late for the right reason. Okay, well, that makes sense.
It's different when I do it. Everybody knows that.
All right, so now we talk about Gilbert Gottfried. And again, Tommy the Space Alien. I guess that news didn't get to his home planet yet because he didn't know that Gilbert had passed away for some reason. I know. I was a little surprised by that.
The thing about Gilbert was,
I didn't even know Gilbert died.
yeah, Gilbert died.
He was the best.
You didn't know Gilbert died?
I fucking hate the news. I fucking hate it. I really hate it. I don't even. I turn it on for like an hour in the morning, just to see what's going on, and I can't stand the same.
Well, do you?
Wow.
Guys, I didn't know about this big news story because I hate the news. I only watch it for an hour
every day.
Right.
And he's bringing up news reports while they're doing the show that have nothing to do with anyone on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
What's he talking about?
Unfucking believable.
I just hope Tommy's cool with us because we could get, wiped out.
Yeah.
Probed.
Probed, yeah.
You want to get your anus probed? Fuck with Tommy. Fuck with Tommy and find out.
There was one point in this, kind of apropos of nothing, where Tommy brings up his coding background over and over again. He says, I'm a
He goes, I'm a
coder.
coder. I was like,
But then he says, I have access to YouTube source code.
yes. And
All right, yeah, good.
based
okay.
on the source code, he knows what they're censoring.
Oh, it's
I didn't even pull
hilarious.
all of that because it gets like,
It's-
you're like,
it's
what are you
so-
talking
it's so
about?
stupid,
He
yeah.
goes, yeah, look at the source code. There's 3,000 lines of code, and sometimes they're censoring bullying, and other times it's about trans rights. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Bro, hold on a second. Wow, I just realized something. He might have access to the source code of YouTube. How else does he have 500,000 views and all these bot comments?
Fuck.
Holy shit, this guy's
Oh.
hacked YouTube.
Dude, this is all coming.
This all
through
makes
me.
sense, though. He probably is a coder.
Holy shit.
He probably connects like with his head, like into the computer, like
Yeah.
burp.
Yeah. Just retina scans. it
Retina
in.
scans it in, yeah. Just thinks it into existence.
He probably figured out how to write a Python script that was like, while one, view YouTube video with the link on it, and then just let it run for eternity. It's amazing.
Could
It's
I
great
hire
skill.
someone to do that for me?
Well, they got to have access to the YouTube source code like Tommy does over here.
That was such a weird thing because he looks over at Sky. He's like, well, I'm a coder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Scott's not anything. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. That's weird.
He should get access to the Twitter source code and clean up that fucking bio. Maybe make it a complete sentence.
You don't even need the source code for that.
No, yeah, no, you do.
You just need the password. Yeah. That's really all you need to do that. All right, 2 more clips. This is my favorite clip by far. So we talked about how Ray Liotta just died. So when this was recorded, it was the day that Ray Liotta passed away. And it was weird because Ray Liotta seemed like a pretty healthy guy. I know he was a smoker for a long time. And, he just kind of like was in the middle of a project and had a bunch of things going on and then just died in his sleep.
Yeah.
And so they're wondering how that happened.
Ray Liotta died today.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Yeah. He was in Dominican Republic. What the fuck happened? It has to be alcohol because I think he was an alcohol.
Who dies from alcohol? I mean, come on.
You can
left and right.
You can OD on alcohol.
Alcohol.
OD on alcohol?
Yeah.
The withdrawal can kill you. It's the only drug that can actually kill you.
Never has.
You could have too much alcohol too. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
John.
It's just odd. It's odd because he had just finished 3 movies.
Hey, this is water. It's fucking Coors Light.
And he was in the.
Yeah, it's affecting you like water would, I can tell.
Yeah.
It's just like water.
You sound drowned.
Look at how many empties he now has in front of him.
Well, this is the final stage because there's a bunch of empties backed by Scott, and Scott was clinking them around for comic effect. Thank you, Scott. Then there's a bunch of empties in front of John.
Yeah.
Then there's one in his hand that he's actively slugging from.
Yeah.
And then you can see there's the 18-pack of Coors Light by his feet, which is funny because they brought out a bucket with ice with 6 cold beers in it for this 3-hour interview, thinking,
that should
beers
do it.
for an interview. I mean, you'll have something to take home with you. He had it
Can I get a
done
doggy bag, please?
in the first half hour. He was through the first 6 because he really did it the first bunch real quick, and then he kind of slowed down a bit, but was consistent. So I was trying to figure out, and maybe Vic, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Is this denial or is this stupidity?
Great question.
Adam Carolla would sometimes play a clip of somebody saying something false and be like, stupid or liar.
Yes.
And so that's my question. Stupid or liar? You don't know that. Go ahead.
It's neither because it's confidence. It's like he's drank so much that he thinks he should have died if it was possible by now.
Oh, that's a good theory.
Yeah.
Vic's
It's
going,
confidence.
if you could die from alcohol, I would have 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what John said.
So you
He said, "I
lose.
haven't."
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, just the idea that he's like, who, and then he's like, yeah, you can overdose on alcohol. He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the idea that he didn't know that you could overdose on alcohol is crazy.
Yeah.
Tommy goes, well, you can die from withdrawals, which will never be John's problem.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
That's a whole other thing.
If John wakes up in the drunk tank after a DWI,
That's true.
and they don't recognize the problem right away, he could go into toxic shock and be fucking toasted. Man.
That's very
He's
true.
done
And then
for.
Scott says also prolonged use over time could cause health issues.
Imagine that.
Cirrhosis. But John was just in the hospital months ago from
right.
this fucking shit.
From the
Why is
Klonopin
he even making an
withdrawal.
argument at all?
He had the Klonopin withdrawal.
And John is the reason, and this is true, hospitals have beer. And they will, if you show up and you start going into withdrawal, they will stick a label on it with your name on it and hand you a beer and let you drink it because it will fucking save
Do they
your
have
life.
vodka?
As long as it's not an IPA.
And John is like, what kind of beer is it, though? Because I'm not drinking no shit. You better have the kind of beer that I like, doctor. Jesus Christ.
I can't believe that was John's response to maybe Ray Liotta died from alcoholism. And his response is, that does not exist. What you just said, dying from alcoholism does not exist.
And no offense, the guy's a music fan. Like, dude, you had to have stumbled upon it
Bon
behind the music.
Scott or a jillion people.
Behind the music used to play 24/7. You had to stumble on it at some point. You know what I mean?
What was he thinking? Like, oh, they're way too hydrated.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking asshole.
He choked on his own vomit because he had the flu that day.
Yeah.
Everyone does that.
Right.
Choke on my vomit, your vomit, whatever.
It's delicious.
Jesus Christ.
All right. This is the last clip because it's just Tommy not knowing how words work again. Which is always fun.
I know you guys, like I knew it. I said to you, look, he's the best.
Yeah, it's a great guy. Very nice guy. Very down to earth. As are you.
Yeah.
Behind the stick, you are too.
Behind the stick.
I won't tell nobody.
What's this?
Beep. All right, John.
All right.
Thank you very much.
He can't.
I mean,
He's got too many beers in his hand.
stick. Tommy, you're a comedian.
Stick.
Stick. What, I fucking say it wrong? Stick.
Sound like he said stick.
Been a pleasure.
Well, John doesn't know how anything works in that clip. Holy
It's
shit.
so great. And what's great is Scott is in the background. So he says it wrong. And then Scott over and over again into the microphone is going, shtick.
It's shtick.
Shtick. He
That's what
said
he
shtick.
means, yeah.
That's what he said. He
That's
said
what he
shtick.
meant. He did say stick.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy did say stick.
But Scott's saying the word over and over again, and John's
Yeah.
just like, what does that mean? He gets off like, what is that? What? Why do you mean I have a stick? What are you talking about? Why do I have a stick? I have a stick up my
Stick
ass?
isn't even that way off because behind the stick is just being on the job. So there you go.
There you go.
He was right twice.
There you go.
To John's 0.
But he was so proud of himself for playing matchmaker. He's like, I knew you guys would get along. Scott the engineer and Tommy are now BFFs, according to John.
Oh, better not develop. He'll get jealous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and there's that great moment where he's like, oh, yeah, Rob and I, this is like a dream come true for us. We listened to you guys for years. Like, really? The guy that answers the phones and the guy that cut the tape? Like, all right. And they spent a bunch of time. We get into, like, how they edited the tape, which I actually thought was really fucking
It is interesting, yeah.
But then they got into, like, how the microphones over the years, when they changed mics, and how they did this and that went on for fucking way too long. All the, like, non-sports talk, the fucking bowling and the golf, and they just went on and on about these fucking boring ass topics.
Yeah, there was a time when I was like, Tommy, why is this interview still going on?
Yeah.
John is blackout drunk. Scott the engineer has never been interesting. He's like famously known as not being interesting.
Yeah, no shit, no
and
shit.
you're carrying on a conversation about Amber Heard and George W. Bush. Like, what's going on right now?
Now, the only so when they're talking about Artie, John has to go on and on about Artie's demons and anyway. So psychoanalyst Stuttering John accused Artie of being drunk during the dad's accident.
Oh yeah. I picked up on that too. Like, he's guilty because he was drunk and he was supposed to be with his dad the day that his dad fell off the ladder.
And I might be remembering this wrong. I thought he was a teenager when that happened.
I thought so too.
And he wasn't there. I mean, he wasn't on
he wasn't
the job
supposed
site.
to be on the job with him.
No.
I remember.
I mean, he did feel survivor's guilt, but a lot of people who have tragedies in their families feel survivor's guilt.
Right.
He wasn't drunk during the thing. He was a teenager. I mean, this idea, there's like, oh, yeah, he was drunk instead of there, and then he blamed himself and got drunk. Like, yeah, no, you just like being drunk, and you see drunk everywhere.
I wanted to do some research on that,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a chance
Yeah,
to because the same thing happened to me when I heard that. I was like, I remember already talking about the story, and that's not what was said.
But he was young because he would talk about being in school and coming home and helping with his dad and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, whatever. Anyway, my final tally for a 3-hour interview was 11 Coors Lights.
Wow.
Emptied.
And we say he dabbles. He most certainly does not.
Yeah.
This guy's killing it.
Not in silver bullets.
And I was like, oh, I should put that in like a BAC calculator and see what's doing. But like, who even gives a shit? The fucking
He's mostly A of the BAC.
Oh
so
God,
it's fine.
he's blackout drunk. He's shit faced drunk. He can't wait to go back and drink Scott's beer
Yep.
and fucking smoke more of Scott's weed and shit. And the guy is just a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah.
And
It's embarrassing.
he doesn't have to be. You know what I mean?
None of this is necessary. He's going back to Scott's place. Scott has weed and beer. It's like you can just like not drink on Tommy's
Yeah.
show and do a show and then go back and drink.
No,
You need it so badly.
Dude, I had a lot of experience with this. Go home and drink.
Yes.
And then you don't embarrass yourself.
Without the webcams on.
Yeah, embarrass yourself in front of yourself, but you don't have to fucking fall down and shit in front of other people. Just come on. Vic does it all the time. Producer Chris doing it right now. Come on. It's fucking, come on. What the fuck? What are we doing here?
Who are these podcasts? WAT.